Hello everyone, welcome to Moon Mage. This is weekly tarot messages. If you are new here, these are essentially just quicker, shorter messages connected to the potential energies, potential challenges, along with some guidance and advice so that you can hopefully navigate your week ahead in the best possible way. I always tell everybody that when you land on them was when you were meant to hear them, regardless of the dates that they come with. They are timeless in that sense. So using your own intuition, feel into messages 1 through 4 and see which one is speaking to you. And then I will get started here with message number 1. Hello to all my beautiful message 1 choosers. Let's have a look and see what types of energies are showing up for you guys this week. The energy coming up for my beautiful message 1s. What do they need to know? All right. Okay, so 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So if this is the backdrop, if this is the energy that is going to be surrounding you, it has to do with finances, financial health, financial growth, our security and stability, essentially. When 7 of Pentacles is upright like this, it's essentially saying the seeds that you planted will grow, but because it's in the reverse, it's suggesting that there may be a need for you to really take a step back and look at your financial life, your security and your stability, doing the grunt work essentially around finances to figure out how you can grow your wealth a little bit more, where you might need to cut back, where you might need to step up in some kind of way when it comes to your financial health. We'll see what else comes out with that, but this is definitely an energy in the backdrop. It also connects to just decisiveness about what we want. So if we have a passion or a purpose that we're not following, it's niggling at us and it's bugging at us, it could be a call to action to do something towards that thing, because in the long run, it will create some form of financial security and wealth. But we first must tend to it, right? And plant those seeds and do something with it, take action, essentially. Oh, look at this. Opportunities. An important offer will be made. Be prepared and dress to impress. Yeah, so there's a preparatory energy. And because it's in the reverse, it's kind of suggesting that maybe some of you haven't really given a lot of thought to what you might want to prepare for. That is going to provide opportunities for you to see financial growth in your life. That's going to bring in a sense of more stability and security, right? And it's about planting those seeds and not allowing yourself to miss these opportunities to turn whatever situation that you're in right now, especially in regards to how safe and secure you feel in your day-to-day life around finances, to make them better and stronger. Opportunities are coming in this week for you around that kind of energy. So this is sort of like your heads up from spirit saying, get ready for this, be prepared. All right. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to take these couple of cards that flipped over, but we're going to need a couple of more along with that. So, thought some more were going to fly out, but nope. All right, so we've got accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. Okay, so this is sort of like, I feel like this card shows up when we're ruminating on something, especially things from the past that we can't change, that we didn't do, or that didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. And maybe there's even a little bit of like self-blame going on here for some of you, because it's saying to accept and embrace your inner majesty, your power, your magic. So maybe you've stopped trusting yourself around something because maybe there's been some sort of lack of stability and security in your life, and it's making you feel like, I can't really choose. I don't want to choose wrong, because 7 of Pentacles is all about positive choices for ourselves and being decisive. And I feel like this is the message of like, breathe out, take a moment, release what has happened in the past or whatever blame that you might have taken, like whether it's towards someone else or yourself, though I do think for a lot of you it's on yourself, and make the intention to let it go, because you're being asked to prepare for new opportunities. listening with your heart, and this is coming on the side of challenge. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. You know, we're in new moon Leo energy right now. Everyone always thinks it's just the day of, but it's not. That kind of energy is long lasting. And I feel like it's very much coming into play for some of you, needing to listen to our heart, follow our hearts more. And you're receiving some sort of divine wisdom and guidance through that heart space, through the wisdom of your heart, through feeling. And this is your heads up from spirit that you've not been listening to it. And it's time to, it's got something to say that is going to make your heart sing, that's going to make you feel better, that's going to make your situation feel more possible rather than impossible, right? Especially by way of these opportunities coming through. Rising above, I see only beauty and grace. Yeah, rising above these problems, releasing the negativity and the frustration and what might have went wrong or what hasn't been working, and just rising above that and saying, okay, I'm no longer going to sit in this energy anymore. It's not helping me. It's hindering me. I am ready to rise above. And again, I really feel like it's connected to this opportunistic energy coming your way. I feel like there's a little bit of a heads up that I'm meant to give you through this reading to say, to not let these types of opportunities or whatever is coming your way pass you by. Even if at first glance you're like unsure about it or feeling indecisive around it, it feels like it's happening for you and it's going to be positive in the long run. So something to keep in mind, message one, to be open. We've got that flower energy here too, and the growth, things growing, things blooming for you. So that usually means that patience is going to be required in some sense too, to watch something grow, especially your financial life. Yeah, I see only beauty and grace, rising above the difficulties and the problems. Nice. I unfurl my wings and fly, flying free. This energy coming up for message one for you guys is going to be so freeing. It's very opportunistic. It's very positive. But I do think that your energy could, because of what you've been going through or what's been hard, and maybe the emotional connection that you have to what's been, or what you haven't been able to fully accept or embrace or let go of, could cause, it's almost like, be mindful, because this moment could pass you by, but there's so much freedom in decisiveness and in choosing and embracing these new opportunities and rising above all the crap that's been going on for you guys. That's been really hard. And I know that I'm sitting here saying that, and I'm not in your shoes, and I've not had to deal with the things that you've had to deal with. But energetically speaking, we're at a time where it's so important that we start letting go of old narratives, old stories, old wounds, and old pains. Otherwise, we're doomed to repeat the cycle again until we finally get the message. And it feels like that could be a thing for some of you, like just making the decision that I'm about to fly free. I'm about to embrace a new opportunity that's going to bring security and stability and help me rise above all my problems and situations. And over time, create this beautiful energy around finances, security, stability, but also above all else, happiness, because it's going to resonate with your heart, with what your heart would really love. And again, even if it doesn't feel like that at first, even if you're, second guessing or questioning. Whoop, okay. Okay, no, it is not time, not yet time. This is not the divine time to take action. Please be patient. The opportune moment is approaching. Wow, okay. All right, this really wrapped up the whole picture. Do not be tempted to settle for something less than what you really want. Opportunities want to come your way, but this is almost suggesting that you're about to maybe make a decision that isn't in your best interest in the long run. Maybe it looks good on paper, or it just feels like the thing that you have to do right now, like maybe taking a job because you feel like money's tight or something to that effect. But this is like a heads up to not settle for that low-hanging fruit, which is an adage I use all the time. You've got something better coming your way, and you're kind of going into this preparatory energy this week to get ready for this opportunity. And trust your heart, especially if it's been whispering at you, this doesn't feel like the right thing. This doesn't feel aligned with what I want and who I am and what I'm capable of, especially if it's like a job offer. This is not the divine right time to take action. Please be patient. The opportune moment is approaching. That last line. You're so close to a new beginning that is going to feel much better, is going to resonate with your heart, that will help you feel more free from the restrictions and the restraints that you currently feel like you're in right now or experiencing. But don't settle for anything less than what you truly want. Really go into your heart and listen to what it has to say. I feel like it's trying to get your attention so that you don't go left instead of right, essentially. It's like that kind of energy. So you're definitely getting a heads up going into this week, message 1. All right, I'm going to leave that there, and I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful week. And, give yourself over to maybe heart meditations and crown meditations so that you can listen to the wisdom of your heart that's coming through, because I feel like you're very likely to connect to that this week if you give yourself over to it. And then get prepared for these beautiful opportunities that want to show up for you. All right, guys, I really am going to leave that there. Take care. Hello, message 2. What do my beautiful message 2s need to know going into this week? What kind of energy is showing up for them? Message 2. Message 2. All right. Okay, Ace of Cups, and it's in the reverse. So there's some sort of disconnect from an emotional new beginning. There's something that may be holding back from an emotional new beginning that feels really good. Rather, you likely are feeling more tied up right now. And if this is being highlighted for you, this is Spirit's way, the universe's way of saying it's time to figure this out, sort this out, reconcile this energy. What's emotionally holding you back from having a new beginning? This could be connected to a lot of things. It could be to your passion projects, what you want, what your heart really wants to follow. It could also be connected to relationships for some of you. But we shall see what else shows up with that. There's almost this feeling of not wanting to put your heart on the line around something for fear of that. But again, we'll see what else shows up. Wow. Okay, commitment. A commitment is indicated around love or business. It will make you feel better. Yeah, an emotional disconnect from your heart's wisdom and your intuition here. Emotionally not wanting to maybe follow your heart, but rather feeling maybe more connected to the fears around what you want. But this is suggesting that choosing and making a decision will make you feel better no matter what, because then you can start to move forward from it. I will say, though, I really do feel like for those of you who are having a hard time allowing your emotions to be more open and be more vulnerable and really let your heart lead the way, I feel like this might be based on things that have happened in your past. So maybe looking back at the things that have happened that has caused you to choose in fear rather than from love and trust in what you know feels best and right for you. Maybe just giving yourself over to looking at that a little bit and then saying, okay, I've sorted that out. I see where it's coming from. I am disconnecting from my energy. It doesn't serve me anymore. I'm going to choose and make a commitment to whether this is a business idea that is heart-centered or a commitment to a relationship that maybe you fear in the long run. Okay, let's pull some more cards around that. There's this feeling or vibe that I get for some of you. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. If something's going well, like I don't know that I can completely trust that I have to be prepared for things to go wrong, because maybe that's been something that you've always had to deal with. What goes up must come down. And if I'm going up, then something's coming. It's that kind of like always being, expecting the worst. Ooh. Okay, we have a card that flew right on the floor. I'll have to pause to pick that up. All right, I am just going to pick up that first card there. Okay, so the card that fell on the floor is following your bliss. My soul sings with joy. I think that there's fear around following what feels really good to you, because it's going to all be taken away, or it's going to all go bad. And because if I look at my history, that's what's always happened. But I feel like the energy is really supportive of you right now, message 2, saying, yes, it is time to follow your bliss. Do not shut off the wisdom of your heart or what it's trying to tell you, or your intuition. It does know what's best for you. And even if it feels a little scary, it's entirely worth it. And you're capable. You're capable of being able to follow your bliss and move through whatever obstacles comes as a result of that. Yeah, as this is saying, it will make you feel better to commit and make a decision. But do not choose based in fear, message 2. Choose with what actually does feel best. Lead with your heart and then bring your head with you. But I think it's flipped right now. You guys are leading with your thoughts and in your head and not maybe listening to your heart. Look at this. Opening to love. My heart is open. But I don't think it has been message 2 for fear that I'm afraid. I'm afraid to be vulnerable. I'm afraid to be open. I've got burned before. And it's funny because we've got that heart on fire right there. We're also just entered Leo season, new moon in Leo energy, all connected to the heart and fire and passion. If this is showing up for you, message 2, it's probably because you can trust this connection, this new relationship or this business thing that is going to be really good for you. You can trust it, even if there's fear here. Okay. Renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Yeah, get out with the old. Remove all the mental and emotional clutter that is clouding up your judgment and your heart space and your intuition. Time to let it go. It's like a metaphorical detox of all this old stuff. Like, that it's that, pardon my language, but it's that effort energy. I'm just going to go all in and whatever happens, happens. I know I can handle it, but I want to commit to this person or this situation. Like I'm ready to be following my heart and my bliss and renewing my life, having a new beginning massively showing up for my group 2s this week. And this would be the beginning point, right? Where it's time to make the decision and make the commitment and then starting to move forward from there. Wow. Sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being, but this is the thing. I think that you hold back a lot of parts of yourself, your truth, your authenticity, your heart, your soul, essentially, right? I'm not giving all this away to anybody or any situation. I'm not allowing everybody to see these parts of me, but it feels like now is the time to embrace that authenticity, not care what anybody else thinks, and understand, that it is the only way to experience real love, real passion, real excitement when we're following our heart's desires, in that following our bliss, in our truth. Even if some things show up that are hard, you can handle this message 2. And I feel like there's this fear that I just don't think I can handle another thing going wrong or not working out. I definitely think that for a lot of you, this is in love, in a love connection, in a love relationship with opening to love, sharing of yourself. But for those of you who chose this message 2, and you're like, I really just can't decide if I want to take this opportunity or that opportunity in business, like the one that looks secure or the one that feels good but scary, it's the following the one that feels good but scary, in a business situation. But there's a lot of thoughts and fears around this, right? Emotionally disconnected from what your heart knows is true for you. Yeah, the only way through is, the only way out of this situation or this emotional dissonance is moving through it. Like just saying, I've got this and I'm just going to go all in with my heart open, which I know it just feels like it's such a scary thing for my message 2 choosers. But I feel like then you only are giving a fraction of who you are to any one given situation or person, and then they never really truly get to know you. And I feel like that would be such a loss for those around you, and even in a business situation. Hearing all your creativity, seeing all that you have to offer is the best way to move forward for my message 2s. It's likely because you've got so many good things to give, whether in love or business, you do. Recognizing the beauty within yourself, I feel like it's going to be so important for you guys. Increase your knowledge. Education brings opportunities. Take a course, pick up a book, or find a mentor to teach you what your soul longs to know. Okay, so if there's missing pieces to your puzzle, and this is a part of the equation about why it's so hard for you to make a decision, information is power in the situation for you guys, and attaining more information and gathering a little bit more knowledge before you make said commitment, this is just the spiritual realm's way of giving you that heads up. Do that and then go, right? And then make a decision. But increasing your knowledge, I feel like for you guys especially, will make you feel better before choosing, especially for those of you who are trying to make a decision around following your bliss in a business situation and you're not sure whether to go left or right. Okay, and then the underbelly for this, it's time to play. You're working too hard and worrying about everything. Seek out joyous experiences to bring balance into your life, right? So I definitely feel like this is more leaning on those that are fearing commitment and love, right? Being open to being playful. That helps with vulnerability because we're in our natural state, right? We're just in a flow state because we're in joy, we're in pleasure, we're in happiness. It's easier for us to show up more authentically. And then I feel like this increase your knowledge energy is more for those of you who are trying to make a commitment to a business decision and you're not sure which way to go. This will help you feel better. It will help you make a decision so that you can commit to this or that. Hopefully that makes some sense. So I'm going to put that one there. All right. I don't think that there's anything else I need to touch on here for you guys. Other than to just let your whole self be seen. It's time for you to shine and step up in your full authenticity with bravery and courage, because I know it's going to be a little scary for you guys. But the timing is now, it feels like, for you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you all have the most amazing week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. All right, what do my beautiful message 3 choosers need to know? What kind of energies are showing up for message 3 this week? Message 3. Thought we were going to have a whole bunch of cards fall there. All right. 6 of Swords. Okay. So 6 of Swords, needing to move on from something. So there's some sort of energy in the backdrop for you this week around mental energy and what we need to mentally move on from. Either we are about to mentally move on from a situation that causes us a lot of emotional pain and turmoil, or we're being asked to look at what it is we need to mentally and emotionally move away from. We shall see what comes up with the cards. Either way, it's suggesting it's time to move on from a narrative, a thought process, a way of being, because it's just not serving you anymore. Something that has caused you or been causing you a lot of mental and emotional issues and problems and worries and concerns. Pain, essentially. You know what? It's so strange. I'm so attracted to those crows. And I mean, I've pulled this card a gazillion times over the years doing tarot readings, but I'm very, very attracted to them. And I'm wondering if they're going to be messengers for you in some kind of way. Pay attention, message 3, about whatever your thoughts and feelings are. If you happen to notice crows or if they come into your awareness, I feel like there's messaging coming through the crows for you guys. Jealousy. Okay. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. Okay, so you might be coming into a time where you finally see somebody's true colors, or you start to understand somebody's true colors, that maybe their intentions aren't as good as they could be and not beneficial to you, because there's a lot underneath their negativity or their lack of empathy for you and whatever your situation is jealousy. There's almost like some sort of mental clarity that could come with this that helps you to move on and away from this person or these people. And as this says, do not share all parts of your life with everybody. Not everybody deserves to be brought into the know. Excuse me. I'm just at the tail end of this cold and just a little bit of coughing left. And that outdoors energy, with me feeling like crows might be speaking to you in some kind of way, like bird messengers, especially crows. I feel like they are going to be acting as messengers. And this is saying to spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. So it feels like there's some sort of connection with that for you guys as well. Some sort of like clarity coming through that helps you to move on. Something that you see that you didn't see before. Like an aha moment, essentially. Let's see what else is coming out with that for you guys. You know what? I feel like I should do that again. I'm just going to do that again. It just feels right, so I'm going to go with it. Starting fresh. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. Nice. And it's interesting too, because we've got the yin yang there, like where you once felt in the dark, something's coming to light for you where you can really move on. Even if maybe some of you have dealt with a hard like relationship connection, and something about that person or situation comes to light, which absolutely might be painful or hard, but frees you in the long run, frees you up mentally so that you can emotionally move on. Because what follows this harder energy, this frustrating energy, is a new beginning. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. It doesn't often feel like that when something hurts or we have to walk away from people or a situation that we have put a lot of our time and love and energy into. And I do think that that might be a thing for some of you. Oh, look at this, mending bridges. I heal rifts. I'm a mender. And it's coming in the side of challenge. You know what this makes me feel like? I think some of you are very empathic, very intuitive and spiritually connected, but with that can come people-pleasing tendencies and peacemaker tendencies that can be to your detriment sometimes. It feels like you're the one that everybody looks to make a situation healthier and better, with, you know, being the voice of reason and the one that is this able to bring in the wisdom that's missing. And I feel like maybe it's time that you make yourself a priority here. It is entirely possible to heal rifts and be a mender without accepting bad behavior and negativity from others. And I feel like there's something to that here for you guys, right? I'm a healer. I heal rifts. I'm a mender. But I keep getting this people-pleasing energy, this peacemaking energy that sometimes is to your own detriment. It, again, sometimes healing things and getting into a place of forgiveness and trust again is not for the others. It's so that we can move on. So there could be something to that for some of you, you know, and a need to do that so that you can move on and away from people who just are probably not the best for you, or a person for some of you. I am noble, brave, and strong, standing firm. I definitely think some of you are the peacekeepers and the people-pleasing and the empathic person, and used to being seen as the one that comes in and creates that kind of energy for everyone in every situation. But it's time to mentally and emotionally move on from those that are like benefiting and taking advantage of your beautiful energy, but you're not receiving anything in return. You have the opportunity to get into a new beginning and see things more clearly around people and situations so that you can move on from them. Yeah. Listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. And you know, I think that you're typically a heart-centered person and you do a lot of things for a lot of people with love and from love. But perhaps that blocks the wisdom of your heart that tells you when something's off, when certain people shouldn't be trusted or shouldn't be benefiting from your beautiful nature and your kind-hearted personality. And again, it's kind of reconnecting me to that feeling of, you know, going out in nature and receiving messages. I really think that you're going to receive some messages divinely, like divine downloads, essentially, right? That come through the crown and they drop into your heart, and you know that they're real and they're true for you, even if they're tricky or hard. They should be trusted by you at this time. Message 3. They're trying to get your attention. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. It will not steer you wrong if you do. Sorry if there's any really loud background noise, guys. I've got a lot of stomping around going on in my upstairs. So if the cameras or if the microphone's picking that up, I apologize. Yeah, it is. This feels like your message is like, this is the week to start to make yourself a priority. There are going to be some truths coming to light. There's going to be some connections made by you that move through your crown into your heart, and you should be listening to it. A new beginning wants to show up on the other side of this, coming to light, coming to truth, moving away from people and situations or a person that is just not serving you anymore, that doesn't have the best intentions, and you deserve that. It feels here for me, message for you, like really strongly. You deserve a lot of beautiful things. You deserve somebody to show up for you in the way that you've been showing up for others. That's what I feel like here for you guys. But, you know, we delay beautiful new beginnings when we hold on to situations and people that we're outgrowing. And I feel like there's a bit of a heads up for that for you guys, to not do that, to not delay a beautiful new start just because of like maybe heartstrings and connections that you have currently that, you know, on some level might not be the best for you, but you feel maybe obligated to in some kind of way. Look at this. Let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future, a wonderful new beginning. Really having a hard time mentally and emotionally letting go. But here's the thing. Here's your big heads up from spirit. Whatever or whoever you're walking away from was not what's best for you, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts. They weren't what's best for you. And I feel like you're strongly being led towards situations, people, or a person that will be. You deserve far better than what you've been settling for, I think. Message 3. And as it says, let it go, let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. And it's been difficult for you. There's this desire, I think, for you to keep being the mender. And again, healing things from the past is a good idea just so that we can move on without all the baggage. But it's not doesn't necessarily mean to heal and keep allowing negative behavior from others, right? Because we've got watch who you trust up here. I think you know on some level, I think that you do know that there are people or situations or a person that doesn't have your best interests at heart, that is sitting in jealousy, but maybe you're not wanting to listen to that aspect of your heart that's been trying to tell you that. All right, I don't want to keep banging on about that. I'm going to leave that there, and I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful week, and really give yourself over to listening to what your heart has to say, to connecting to nature and receiving messages. Call in Archangel Michael to help you sever cords of attachment from the past and people. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Hello, message 4. What do my beautiful message 4 choosers need to know? What kind of energies are showing up for message 4 this week? Whoa, okay. That card flew across the room, so I'm going to have to pause and go pick it up. Okay, message 4. This fell out face up and upright, and it's the Justice card. So some sort of balance is about to be restored this week, or you're being asked to restore balance, which will bring in the energy of justice where all things are made fair this week or can be made fair this week, but we'll have to see what else is coming out with that. Balance, though. Balance is always key when the Justice card shows up with those scales connected to that Libra energy of fairness. Fairness keeps swirling around my mind for you guys. Nature. Interact with nature in the outdoors, around animals, farmlands, or by the ocean. This will be good for the soul and healing for you. Okay. So you know what? Because we've got the Justice card and the scales and a need for balance, bringing ourselves back into equilibrium, And then we have this nature card, right? Taking a step back, kind of getting grounded and rooted into ourselves, finding our center again. There's definitely an imbalance about what you need on a personal level, self-care, self-love, that sense of centeredness and balance. And it feels like it might be connected to some hard things that you've been going through or hard decisions that you've been having to consider. All the more reason to give yourself over to a little bit of a timeout at the start of this week, to get yourself sorted so that you can get back into balance and start making decisions from a much more centered, healthier place for you. Because I keep getting this energy of stress. I've been stressed. I've been really stressed out. Too much on your plate, guys. Okay. Making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. I feel like this is something that you want to be able to embody, something that you want to bring to the table in everything that you do, being that light for others, making a difference in others' lives. I think that you already do. You might feel disconnected from your power right now, but it is time to bring your light out more. But we can't do that if we're pouring from an empty cup. And I do think that you've been pouring from an empty cup in an imbalance in your life, right? The scales have not been tipped in a way that has you being able to embody this energy the way that you'd like to by shining your light and far and wide for all to see and all to benefit from and making that difference. Probably wrapped up in have-tos and to-do lists and chores and taking care of everyone and everything. But I think that you're being offered an opportunity this week to make yourself a priority and to connect to maybe a dream too, because I keep thinking about dreams. Is there a dream that you're ignoring, a calling that you're ignoring? By giving yourself over to taking a bit of a time out and getting out into nature and grounding yourself, I feel like you could receive that dream again or reconnect to it. Believing in magic. True magic is abounding in my life. I think that you are a very magical person, but you don't realize that, or you've disconnected from this part of yourself, because this is what's coming out in challenge, right? Not being able to see the forest for the trees, not being able to see that, if you keep working on something or reconnect to a dream or follow a dream, that you become this light onto others and you make a huge difference. You're very impactful, or will be. But there's a disconnect from this part of yourself message for that. I feel like the universe and spiritual realm is saying it's time to reconnect to that. Get back into balance. You're serving everyone else and everything else in the day-to-day, but it's you who needs this time out to reconnect to your true essence, your soul, your power. I step into my future with strength and clarity, healing the past. What goes and what stays? What's holding you back? What keeps you stuck in kind of that Groundhog Day energy where you're just doing the same thing over and over every day and it starts to get quite monotonous? There's something to that here for you guys as well. Breaking free from those kinds of cycles, but also anything that you feel like you got wrong or didn't get the results that you wanted to from in the past. There might be something to that for some of you, and now it holds you back. It has disconnected you from your power and your passion and your purpose. And you are here to make a difference message for. You have a lot to offer people with that. My inner light shines far and wide. I feel like people would benefit from your wisdom, your talents, your guidance for some of you. It's almost like this feeling of you've forgotten who you are. Okay. This came up in one of the other messages, flying free. I unfurl my wings and fly. Yeah, there's definitely an energy and a message here that you've been holding yourself back. There's a mental disconnect from your power, your magic, as I've said, where you're meant to do more, embody more, and be more. And your light helps and supports others in a very big way, even if you can't see it. It sort of feels like you've gotten off the beaten path to some degree, falling into certain mind traps and energies where it's just like, again, you're just kind of going about your day-to-day in patterns and things like that we set up for ourselves. We all do it, and, our routines. And there's this feeling of needing to break free from that. And if it's showing up for you, That's because the time is right to either start something or reconnect to this part of yourself, or restart a thing that maybe you tried in the past that didn't work out. It's like that the wheel of fortune is starting to turn in your favor. And in doing so, owning your power, your magic, stepping out into the world and being seen and heard more, it's going to bring about this energy of flying free. I unfurl my wings and fly. I think that you underestimate yourself a lot. I'm feeling here for my message for us. Where is that coming from? What in your past is a story that you've connected your energy field to that's telling you, this is why I can't do this. Maybe perceived mistakes from the past, perceived failures, things that didn't work out. So now we're afraid to go back at it again, or that it just won't. Because you're being asked to step into your future with strength and clarity and shine your light. That's such Leo energy too. And we're in Leo season right now, right? Like heart-centered authenticity, bravery, and courage. It's about trying to embody all that. It's that feel the fear and do it anyway kind of energy that you're being asked to embrace at this time. But there's an imbalance in your life that needs to be sorted out, where it's like, it just feels like it hasn't been fair to you in the sense that you've been so busy taking care of everybody else's dreams, desires, needs, and then yours has been put up on the shelf for far too long. This image I have of something like this dream thing sitting up on the shelf, all covered in dust, needs to be like pulled back down and blow the dust off and start to unpack it, because that's the thing that's going to help you fly free. It's how you're gonna shine your light and make a difference in this world. But we start here. We need to get back into balance. We need to interact with nature and get grounded and sorted and centered again. Breathe out. Because that's something I keep thinking of too, is just this time to breathe out. This whole vibe of I've forgotten who I am. I've disconnected from who I am as like a soul or a spirit. Either that, or it's just been put off to the side for the sake of others and other things. This is kind of deep here for my message force. But like I said, this energy, where as we move from July into August and then up into the rest of the year, it's really building momentum. If we allow, we can really start building things and cultivating things and planting really good seeds of intention. And that's definitely something that's showing up here for you guys. This also came in one of the other messages. Let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. Healing the past, a big, strong message. All the more reason to give yourself a bit of a timeout to start this week. Where are you holding on to pain from the past? What from the past needs to be healed out so that you can move forward and start making a difference in the way that you were meant to shine your light, to have it reach others in a way that is going to be beneficial to them, not just you, so that you can embrace your future. Yeah, you need to cut some energetic cords. And if you're not entirely sure how or why you got so wrapped up into things from the past, it can be as simple as going to bed at night and saying a little prayer to ask to be energetically, have your cords energetically cut from those situations to be made fresh and made new, to help you see the truth of who you are and what you bring and what you're capable of. This time is all about getting into our power. And I think that you definitely need to reconnect to that part of yourself here. Message 4. On the bottom is embrace this magical moment. You are in the perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles. Allow your wishes to be filled. So this is the underbelly. This is what follows getting back into balance, harmonizing yourself, releasing the past, letting go of what's been and embracing what could be and shining your light, right? Powerful energy here. Magic there, magic here. Wishes being fulfilled. But we can't do that if we're pouring from an empty cup, and we can't do that if we're holding on to, issues and problems from our past. We can't move forward with them. So something to consider here for you guys this week. All right. Message 4, I'm going to leave that there. And I really hope all of you give yourself over to this, reconnection and centering yourself out, going out in nature. I think it's going to benefit you in ways that you can't even possibly imagine if you allow for that. It's going to be a good starting point, a catalyst to start healing this stuff out so that you can step into the light more fully and embrace a new beginning that feels far more resonant with who you are and what you're meant to have and do. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. Take care.